it suddenly became one of the biggest questions in Hong Kong. What will the Chinese military do? After 8 weeks of increasingly violent riots and more anti-government protests planned for this weekend, anxiety has risen that Beijing might call the People's Liberation Army. China seems willing to at least feed speculation with signs and signals, including a Wednesday video release showing troops practicing riot control. While military intervention seems far away, it is likely to have created unease in the former British colony and encouraged at least one investment bank to mark it as a risk. Since Hong Kong returned to Chinese rule 22 years ago, PLA forces in the city have played a minimal role. If that changes, the implications for Hong Kong and China will be very large. The biggest fear for some is the recurrence of the deadly crackdown that took place on Tiananmen Square in Beijing 3 decades ago, which has the potential to encourage the United States to withdraw trade pride. China, meanwhile, will face potential economic sanctions from the US and Europe, a bold pro-independence movement in Taiwan, and increasing financial risk for companies that rely on Hong Kong as a gateway for international investors, all while grappling with Donald Trump's trade war and economic expansion at the latest since foreign investment collapsed after Tiananmen. The consequences will be so severe that most analysts interviewed by Bloomberg News describe military intervention as a highly unlikely scenario, a last resort that will only be considered by Chinese President Xi Jinping if